Virginia.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good, how are you? Melanie, it's so good to see you
Nice
again.
to see you. Come on, have a seat.
How was your weekend? Did you go to the game?
It was good. Yes, I did. It was so fun.
Yeah, always a good excuse to come to Athens. Here's my business card just for reference.
Thank you.
Okay, so I checked with your assistant beforehand, and we have 20 minutes today.
Yes,
correct?
20 minutes is perfect. Thank
Okay.
you.
And if you don't mind, do you mind if I ask questions and just kind of take some notes to fill in the blanks?
Not at all.
Awesome. So I really enjoyed the conversation we had at the UGA Career Fair. And if you remember, you kind of identified a few problems that we'll go over a little later on. But
Yes.
for now, I just kind of want to ask some background questions and make sure that I have all the correct numbers and everything before we proceed. Okay. So first, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a UGA alum. I've been with Salesforce for 3 years. In the past 2 years, I've actually been a top 20 salesperson with Salesforce.
Congratulations.
So, I look young, I'm capable. And then just some questions that I talked about earlier is, so your company, American Pipeline, is actually on track to do over $300 billion in sales this year, right?
Yes, it's going to be a big year.
That's an exciting time. And then also, I believe, Brandon, and you were mentioning that you guys have over 20 clients that are worth $1 billion, right?
Yes, we do.
Wow, that's awesome. And then you guys also have 4 region project managers and then 5 salespeople kind of allocated per region, correct?
Yeah, we have the 5 per region, yes.
Okay, so I've been in contact with Brandon, and who is in sales and operating for your company.
Right.
And then I also have been in contact with Colonial Pipeline to review some key issues that are troubling my other pipeline construction customers as well, and that I think will be similar to your size as you guys continue to grow.
Yes, sounds good.
So I have a meeting agenda for us today to just kind of look over together.
Okay.
There are just some 3 topics I kind of think we should hone in on.
Yes.
So your company is currently growing at an exponential rate.
Right.
And then although American Pipeline currently uses a CRM, I think Brandon mentioned some issues you guys have had with them. So if you don't mind me asking, what CRM system do you currently use?
We have used the CRM system HubSpot for the past, I'm pretty sure, 15 years, and it's been working out pretty well for us, but it's definitely been posing some issues recently, especially comparing us to our competition.
Okay. So I think also Brandon mentioned that there just has been some communication lagging between teams. Yeah, I know salespeople are usually all over the region. They're not really behind desks a lot, so it can kind of be hard always being on your phone when you're really in front of clients.
Yes, we've been having some issues with communication also.
Okay. So another issue brought to my attention is the fact that orders aren't being processed quickly. Is that correct?
Right. Yes, we have been having some issues with the speed at which they're being processed, and we're definitely looking for a solution to that.
Okay, and that's also creating shipment delays, which actually goes into the data, your inventory data, right?
Yes, that too.
Okay. And then the last issue that I kind of want to discuss today is, and I found this to be supported by you, Brandon, and Colonial Pipeline, is just the lack of communication after everything is processed, so between your customers.
Yes, and I think I mentioned this to you before, but it's been a growing difficulty for our customers, our clients, to be able to get in touch with us and kind of see where their shipments are in the process of them arriving at their destination.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so all these issues sound correct to you, right?
Yes, these definitely look good to me.
Okay, is there anything else you'd like to cover today?
No, this looks good, and we're definitely looking for solutions to these.
Okay, perfect. And then is there just anyone else that you think you want in this meeting, or?
No, just me today.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so just kind of moving on. As I said, Brandon and I have been talking for the past few weeks, and he kind of mentioned that his sales team, when they reach out to another team, it takes about 3 to 5 business days for them to actually respond to their question, which, in client time, that's a long time.
Yes.
Were you aware that was the time frame for these responses?
It sounds about right to me, but it's definitely longer than I would like it to be now that I kind of see it laid out like you have it.
Okay. And then just speaking from a sales representative point, you guys have 150 sales representatives in total within American Pipeline, correct?
Right.
And then you're about to scale to 100 more, right?
Yes.
Okay. So since your company is expanding at a rapid pace, if this communication gap continues to grow, how do you see that affecting the company culture as a whole?
I think that this would definitely have a negative impact on our company culture if this communication gap continues to just get bigger, especially as we are adding on new employees and our business is just growing as a whole.
Okay. And then also, how would these if these qualified sales representatives that you have employed over the years, if they decide to leave American Pipeline just due to the rapid growth and kind of changes in culture, how is that going to impact the success of your business in the future?
I think that would have a negative impact too if some of our super great sales reps decided to just pick up and leave. That would definitely cause some huge problems, and it would probably increase the communication gap that we already have.
Okay. I also did some background information and found that Nordstrom and Southern Company are vying for the same clients. They hold a lot of the market share, correct?
Right. They are definitely our biggest competition.
Okay. So wouldn't you say, just kind of based off that, since it is such a competitive market right now, it's a very crucial piece of your business is really processing orders?
Yes, I think that it's super important for us to just process them quickly and efficiently.
Okay, so therefore, if your multi-step processing system breaks down, in terms of orders lost, what kind of revenue loss is that for the company, do you think?
That would be a pretty huge loss for us if we were to have an entire system break down, or even just gaps with this as a different aspect. That would be a pretty huge loss for us.
Okay, and then also a big thing for y'all is that your inventory data is just really not up to date. I think Brandon had mentioned he's always in distribution centers.
Right.
You've seen an issue with that. So just based on that, how long do you think it really takes for that data to really be updated?
I think that it would take us a pretty long time to get the data updated. Brandon has been having to go out and just try to manually keep things together, but I think it would be super important and helpful for us to just kind of update what we know we have.
So since I would say after speaking with Brandon, he spends probably about 3 days kind of out in the field in distribution centers, just trying to make sure that the inventory is up to date.
Yes.
So when he takes those 3 days to kind of see what's going on with the process, how much time does that take away from him, creating more leads, spending time with clients? Where really is that manpower kind of shifted to?
I think that definitely, or it would obviously take away those days of him being out there gathering information where he should be in the office getting new clients and working on maintaining what we have with our biggest clients already.
Okay. And then the last topic I just really kind of want to hit on is Colonial Pipeline. So I believe that they are your biggest shareholders currently.
Yes, they are.
I think 54%, right?
Yes.
And so they have kind of touched on some complaints about the lack of communication between them and American Pipeline after the orders are processed.
Right.
I think one of their main points was the fact that they have to call the office each time when they want to know when something is going to reach their fulfillment center.
Yes, and it's gotten to the point where they're almost calling every day because they do place so many orders with us, and we don't have a way for them to keep track of it. So, and obviously they're billion-dollar companies, so they want to keep up with what they're ordering from us, and it's just become a bigger and bigger problem recently.
Absolutely. So, are you aware if HubSpot currently has a way for your clients to track their orders? Anything like that?
HubSpot doesn't offer that, and I think that's definitely been contributing to our problems with our current CRM software recently.
Okay, and you guys don't have any outside system at all either to track that? Okay, so if Colonial Pipeline did decide to leave American Pipeline just due to the lack of information they're receiving, just with orders being processed and everything, what does that mean for y'all's growth?
That would mean complete backtracking with our growth. That would be totally detrimental to our company as a whole and to our future. That would definitely be one of the worst outcomes that could happen, and I would like to avoid that.
Okay. So I created an Excel sheet before this meeting,
Okay.
and just from the background information I've gotten from you, it seems that I have the right numbers to kind of show you and just guide you through some of, the cons of not fixing these issues. So let's just take a second to look at this Excel sheet that I made, and just see how these issues can be addressed.
Okay.
So right now, with 150 sales representatives, the average amount that you guys spend on their salaries is about $7.5 million per year.
Yes,
right?
I would say that's about right.
Okay, so if the lack of communication just continues between the teams, would you agree that the company culture is probably going to go from more of a innovative, collaborative type of company to work for to kind of frustrated and hostile environment?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with the frustrated and hostile aspect if the communication gap continues to grow and get worse and worse for us.
Okay, so if the issue I found with clients similar to mine, similar to your size, of employees, what happens is employees start to become dissatisfied just because the culture changes and shifts as they grow. And so what I see is a lot of employees leave the company that have been there for a while. So American Pipeline currently has some of the top producing sales representatives, which is really impressive for the region. So if these employees do decide to leave the business and go to your competitors, you guys risk losing not just clients, but also $7.5 million that you've put into them just in this past quarter, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, that sounds pretty bad.
Okay. So, and then this also just leads into the second problem we discussed earlier. Brandon's sales team currently holds two of your largest clients, Natural Gas and Kinder Morgan, which I think are billion-dollar companies.
Right, and he does have both of those under his sales team.
Okay. So if he were to lose these clients because he spends most of his time double and triple checking orders processed, I think we said he spends, 3 days kind of in distribution centers?
Yes.
Instead of being attentive to their other needs, Natural Gas and Kinder Morgan may leave the company.
Right. That does not sound good.
Right. So we definitely want to prevent that. If these two clients and their contracts with Brandon's team, if they decide to dissolve them, American Pipeline loses two of its top producing clients, and I believe the loss comes out to be $174 billion per year.
That sounds about right, and it does not sound good.
Okay. So then, just to kind of hit home with what these issues are causing, is the last loss shown on my Excel sheet comes from Colonial Pipeline.
Right.
So Colonial Pipeline is kind of a client example of what's been going on and why they're not really happy with your company. And they face the issue of just really not having strong communication after their order is placed, not being attentive to clients and stuff like that. And what they're seeing is other firms, your competitors, are offering their clients a way to track their shipments coming into their fulfillment centers.
Yes.
Okay, so with that, that's something that they now want. So if they pull their shares from your company, I believe it puts American Pipeline at risk of losing another $56 billion.
Yeah, that definitely is a huge problem, and now that you've put all these numbers with it, I'm really looking for solutions to these problems that you brought up.
Okay, perfect. Well, I do have some good news. Just to reiterate, so in total, American Pipeline's current CRM system, HubSpot, might be doing multiple things right. But they are putting the company at risk of losing a total of $237.5 billion in this upcoming year.
Wow, that's even more than I thought it would be. We're definitely looking for some solutions.
Okay, well, let's go to Salesforce website real fast.
Okay.
And I'm just going to show you a demo and then a model of just some things that kind of break down Salesforce for you.
Sounds good.
So now just looking at Salesforce, I can show you some benefits that will help you increase retention rates, not just with your clients, but also your employees. I think that's really important as a growing company. You kind of want it to stay the same. There's a reason they come to your company. Okay, so first, Salesforce offers a dashboard system that will constantly update the statistics of sales, closings, and then files for your clients and for your employees.
Wow.
Yeah, so this dashboard will benefit American Pipeline by allowing teams to identify the information they need from each other at the comfort of their own desk.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
So as your company grows, this will help maintain the transparency a small firm may have and will contribute to creating more positive relationships.
Yes.
I like to believe between employees. Brandon's team, I think we talked before, it's 3 to 5 days for them really to get an email response. So that will completely take out the middleman of email.
Okay.
This will constantly just kind of update as people update their computers, as the systems through the
Awesome.
distribution centers update, and really allows them that if a client's going to move from one team to another, you have all the past meeting notes, all the statistics of the company, and it just allows you to really personally catch up.
Yes, and so anybody on any team can just access pretty much live information on the dashboard?
Yes.
Awesome. Yep. Sounds great.
Yeah, so then another benefit of Salesforce is just our Path Kanban.
Okay.
So this allows any team member to quickly access files of sales orders that are currently going on, and then also past sales orders.
Okay.
So one issue American Pipeline currently faces that we've really touched upon during this meeting is trying to quickly process all orders at once. I think it's really hard nowadays to kind of keep up with inventory with the fast pace of your company.
Right.
And so this processing system will actually directly go through one channel.
Okay.
So when you use this application, you'll be able to pull it for any client and pick up right where you left off in the last meeting.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so then your inventory is constantly being updated. No more distribution field trips.
Right.
Yes.
We do not need any more of those.
Yes, more client-facing time for sure. And then Salesforce will present you with statistics about how clients' past orders went, and then easily let you reorder and adjust orders based off what your client's preferences are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so through this one-click process, the buyer just needs to sign off on the agreement. It's sent right to the distribution center, and this really just kind of, I think, boosts morale in the office. Everyone's allowed to be in on a deal. They have the information at their fingertips, and it makes it a lot easier.
That would definitely help with a lot of the problems we've been having.
Yeah, and so then the last application Salesforce has that I think would really help your company is just the Lightning Experience application, which will allow for information symmetry to go on between you and your clients.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I know that Colonial Pipeline had the big issue of not being able to track their orders on their own.
Yes.
A lot of phone time going on, kind of being billed for
calls.
hours. Yeah, being billed for hours that really just aren't necessary for you or them at all. So through the Lightning Experience, your clients will be able to access not just their files, so they'll have the meeting minutes as well, and they'll be able to go show their upper management, but also track shipments through their own personal devices.
Okay.
Yeah. So this will satisfy not only Colonial Pipeline, but will also allow your sales representatives to spend more time solving other issues within their companies.
Yes.
And addressing those, and then they won't spend all their time answering tracking questions.
Exactly. That definitely solves the problem of having to communicate constantly with our customers like Colonial Pipeline.
Right. And then I think it also just helps customer retention.
Yeah.
Just looking at Salesforce data, I believe 27% when they switched to our CRM system actually retain more customers just because they're able to make better use of their time.
Wow, definitely. And I think that this would definitely help put us above our competition for good.
Good. That's what we want to hear. So I just want to go over some costs with you just from the Salesforce side.
Definitely.
From speaking with you and Brandon, it seems that we do want to sign up all 150 employees.
Yes,
right now.
I think that's what we were looking to do.
And then we'll add the next 100 probably later on, make sure it works and everything. So that would amount to $2.3 million per year.
Okay.
Which I know can seem like a lot, but when you compare that to the $237.5 billion that you could use by not addressing just these, really simple issues. Would you be willing to close today?
I definitely would.
Okay,
that
perfect.
Well,
I will have my assistant send over the paperwork and we'll get to work.
Good.
Yeah,
Thank you so
nice
much.
seeing you again.